The sterile beep of the hospital monitor sliced through the dim motel room like a knife, each pulse a reminder that time was bleeding out. Rain hammered the window pane in Seattle's relentless downpour, mirroring the storm raging inside Ryan as he clutched his son's tiny, fever-ravaged body. "Daddy, it hurts," little Noah whimpered, his voice a fragile thread, and Tyler, beautiful, broken Tyler, froze in the doorway, the weight of their stolen life crashing down. We'd run from everything for this love, but now, only his father's empire held the antidote to death. Ryan's hands trembled as he rocked Noah, the boy's skin scorching under the thin blanket they'd scavenged from a thrift store in Portland. 3 years on the lam, dodging private eyes and prying eyes alike. And this was their reckoning, a rare genetic disorder, the kind that twisted a child's veins like barbed wire, diagnosable only by the cutting-edge labs of Eldridge Pharmaceuticals. Tyler's father, Victor Eldridge, the ruthless CEO who'd disowned his only son for daring to love a man like Ryan, held the monopoly on the experimental serum that could save Noah's life. "We can't go back," Tyler whispered, his voice cracking like thunder, but Ryan's glare cut deeper. "Then watch him die, Ty. Watch us die." It had started in the sweltering heat of a New York summer, back when Ryan was just a barista slinging overpriced lattes in a Greenwich Village cafe, dreaming of escape from the Rust Belt ghosts of his Ohio upbringing. Tyler Eldridge blew in like a hurricane one July afternoon, all sharp suits and sharper smiles, the heir apparent to a pharma fortune built on pills that promised miracles but delivered dependencies. He ordered a black coffee, no frills, but his eyes, hazel flecked with gold, lingered on Ryan's inked forearms, the faded tattoo of a phoenix rising from the grind of minimum wage. "You look like you could use a real escape," Tyler said, sliding $100 bill across the counter with a wink that felt like foreplay. Ryan laughed it off, but that night, as Tyler waited outside under the neon buzz, the air thick with possibility, Ryan stepped into the unknown. They kissed against the brick wall, tasting rebellion and rain-slicked streets, the city pulsing around them like a heartbeat too fast to ignore. From there, it unraveled fast, stolen weekends in Tyler's penthouse overlooking Central Park, where silk sheets tangled with whispered confessions. Tyler spoke of his father's iron grip, Victor Eldridge, the man who'd clawed his way from Detroit's auto plants to biotech billions, molding his son into a carbon copy of ambition without room for deviance. "He sees me as his legacy," Tyler murmured one night, tracing Ryan's collarbone with fingertips that shook. "But you're my truth, Ryan," orphaned young and bounced through foster homes, found in Tyler an anchor he'd never known, fierce, flawed, unapologetically queer in a world that still whispered slurs behind boardroom doors. They made love under the stars on Tyler's yacht off the Hamptons, bodies slick with salt and sweat, promising forever in the language of gasps and grips. But forever cracked when Victor found out. It was a board meeting gone sideways, Tyler defending a diversity initiative that smelled too much like woke pandering to the old guard. Whispers turned to shouts, and Victor's face twisted into the mask of betrayal Ryan would never forget. The same cold fury that had shipped Tyler to military school at 13 for kissing a boy behind the bleachers. "You're throwing away everything for some tattooed nobody?" Victor roared later, in the oak-paneled study of their Upper East Side mansion, a crystal decanter shattering against the wall. Tyler stood tall, chin lifted, but Ryan, eavesdropping from the shadows, heart pounding, saw the fracture. Love versus legacy, desire versus dynasty. That night, Tyler packed a duffel with cash from his trust fund and met Ryan at the cafe at dawn. "We're done hiding," he said, pressing a stolen key fob into Ryan's palm. They drove west in Tyler's sleek Audi, windows down, Springsteen blasting Born to Run as the skyline shrank in the rearview. Freedom tasted like diner coffee and dusty highways, but beneath it lurked the controversy they'd ignite. The tabloids screamed, Eldridge heir flees with lover, pharma empire in turmoil, while conservative pundits decried it as the fall of American values, a queer scandal unraveling the threads of family and fortune. They settled in a ramshackle cabin outside Boise, Idaho, where the Rockies loomed like silent judges. Ryan took odd jobs, bartending at a dive called the Rusty Spur, fixing bikes at a local garage, while Tyler, stripped of his silver spoon, learned to weld and wait tables, his manicured hands callousing over like Ryan's had years before. It was raw, real, the kind of love that American dreamers chase in flannel shirts and faded jeans. They fought over money, over the ghosts of privilege Tyler couldn't fully shake, but made up in the bed of their pickup under a blanket of stars, bodies mapping forgiveness in the dark. "You're my rebellion," Tyler breathed once, after a screaming match about Victor's latest lawyerly threats, his lips brushing Ryan's ear. And then, miracle or madness, Noah came, conceived through a surrogate friend in Seattle, a progressive doctor who'd turned a blind eye to their lack of rings or last names. Holding their son for the first time, swaddled in a hospital blanket that smelled of new beginnings, Ryan wept. Tyler's eyes shone with a father's ferocity. "He's ours. No empire can touch this." Life wove them tighter in those early months. Diaper changes at 3 a.m., Noah's gummy smiles lighting up the cabin like fireflies. They celebrated his first birthday with a picnic by the Snake River, wildflowers in Tyler's hair, Ryan grilling burgers on a borrowed Weber. But the past was a shadow that stretched long. Victor's PIs circled like vultures, offering hush money. Tyler burned in the fireplace one stormy night. "Let him chase ghosts," Tyler snarled, pulling Ryan close. Yet controversy brewed beyond their bubble. Online forums buzzed with Eldridge escape, half romanticizing their outlaw love, half vilifying it as entitled queer drama draining family coffers. Protests erupted outside Eldridge HQ in Boston, LGBTQ activists chanting for Tyler's right to love, countered by suits decrying corporate sabotage. Ryan scrolled through it all on a cracked phone, heart swelling with pride and dread. "We're symbols now," he told Tyler, as Noah babbled in his high chair. "Better than ghosts," Tyler replied, kissing him fierce enough to bruise. By Noah's second birthday, they'd migrated south to Austin, Texas, vibrant, queer-friendly, with barbecue joints and live music that drowned out the doubts. Ryan opened a tattoo parlor called Phoenix Ink, inking stories of survival into sunburned skin, while Tyler consulted freelance on green pharma startups, his Ivy League brain too sharp to waste. Their love deepened in the heat. Lazy Sundays tangled in sheets, Tyler's head on Ryan's chest, tracing the phoenix tat that now bore Noah's initials in subtle script. "I chose you over billions," Tyler said softly one dawn, as cicadas hummed outside. "And I'd do it again." But beneath the romance lurked fractures. Tyler's nightmares of his father's voice, Ryan's quiet resentment at playing house on borrowed time. They argued in whispers to spare Noah, about therapy they couldn't afford, about the closet Tyler's siblings still hid in, ashamed of the family stain. The betrayal came subtle at first. A letter slipped under their apartment door in the dead of night. Ryan found it at breakfast, Noah smearing oatmeal on the table, Tyler humming an old Willie Nelson tune in the shower. The envelope bore the Eldridge crest, wax seal unbroken, like a summons from hell. Inside, a single page, clinical trial data on a serum for Ether syndrome, the rare disorder that had claimed Victor's sister in childhood. For the boy, it read in Victor's precise script. Return. Or watch him fade. Ryan's blood ran cold. How had they known about Noah's subtle tremors? The unexplained bruises? Tyler emerged, towel slung low, and the world tilted. Burn it, he growled, but Ryan held it out, eyes pleading. He's our son, Ty. This isn't pride, it's life. The drive north was a gauntlet of recriminations. Noah strapped in the back, oblivious to the storm. They crossed state lines under gray skies, Tyler white-knuckled on the wheel, Ryan navigating via burner phone. You think he'll forgive? Ryan asked, voice raw. Tyler's laugh was bitter. Forgive? He'll gloat. We're the prodigal fags. Crawling back. Stops blurred. Motel in Cheyenne where they made desperate love. Bodies clashing like waves on rock. A diner in Fargo where Tyler confessed his one-night slip years back. A guilt Ryan swallowed like bile. Betrayal layered upon betrayal. Not just Victor's empire, but the cracks in their own vows. The ways love warps under pressure. Seattle welcomed them with sheets of rain. The Space Needle a mocking spire against the clouds. They holed up in a nondescript hotel near Pike Place. Noah's fever spiking as they waited for the summons. Victor's limo arrived at dusk, black as sin, and Tyler stepped out first, Ryan's hand in his like a lifeline. The mansion on Lake Washington was a fortress of glass and steel, Eldridge's American dream manifest, all sharp edges and cold opulence. Victor waited in the study, unchanged, silver temples, eyes like polished obsidian. Son, he said, voice a velvet blade, ignoring Ryan entirely. Noah, bundled in Ryan's arms, coughed wetly, and Victor's mask slipped, a flicker of the boy who'd lost a sister to the same curse. Negotiations dragged through nights of fluorescent-lit labs, doctors in white coats murmuring probabilities. The serum, Eldronine, proprietary and unapproved, promised 87% remission, but Victor dangled it like bait. Sign the NDA, vanish from Tyler's life, let the heir reclaim his throne. For the child's sake, Victor pressed, his gaze on Noah appraising, not affectionate. Tyler raged, fists pounding mahogany desks. You'd trade your grandson for your stock ticker? Ryan stood sentinel, heart a war drum, whispering to Noah lullabies of escape they'd never sing again. Climax shattered on the eve of infusion. Tyler, cornered in the boardroom, cracked under the weight, signing the papers in a haze of paternal pleas and corporate coercion, his pen scratching like betrayal's autograph. Ryan found him later, slumped in the gardens, rain mingling with tears. I did it for Noah, Tyler choked, but Ryan's slap echoed like thunder. For him? Or for the empire that owns you? The fight spilled into the night, words like shrapnel, accusations of weakness, of clinging to a love too fragile for the fire. Noah's cries from the nursery pulled them back, a tiny anchor in the maelstrom, and in that dim room, they held him between them, bodies pressed close, apologies woven into kisses salty with regret. Dawn brought the infusion, a needle's kiss in Noah's vein, monitors beeping hope into the sterile air. Victor watched from the glass, a titan humbled, his empire's miracle saving the fruit of forbidden love. But as Noah's color returned, pink creeping into cheeks, the real cure unfolded, Not serum, but reckoning. Tyler faced his father in the hallway, Ryan at his side. I'm not your legacy. I'm his father. Victor's empire trembled. Not from stocks, but from the crack in his armor. A grudging nod. Stay. Both of you. Controversy raged anew. Headlines blared, Eldridge heirs queer homecoming. Pharma scion defies dynasty. But in the quiet aftermath, as Noah toddled first steps across marble floors, Ryan and Tyler rebuilt on reclaimed ground. Love, turned out, wasn't the escape. It was the empire they'd forge anew, humanistic in its mess. Forgiveness not as weakness, but as the boldest rebellion. Victor softened in fragments, reading bedtime stories with a voice unused to tenderness, while Ryan inked a new phoenix on Tyler's wrist, wings cradling a child's silhouette. They walked Seattle's fog-shrouded paths hand in hand, Noah between them, the city's pulse syncing with theirs, a gay American odyssey, dramatic and disputed, but undeniably, achingly human. In the end, the cure wasn't in vials or vaults. It was in choosing each other, every fractured dawn. The infusion's aftermath lingered like a hangover, sweet and sour, as Noah's laughter echoed through the mansion's vaulted halls for the first time in weeks. Ryan watched from the nursery window, Tyler hoisting their son onto his shoulders, both silhouetted against the evergreen sprawl of the lawn. It was too perfect, this fragile piece, Victor's concession tasting of concession rather than conquest. But Ryan knew better. Love in America didn't come gift-wrapped without strings, especially not when billions hung in the balance. That night, as Tyler slept tangled in Egyptian cotton, Ryan slipped into the study, rifling drawers for the signed papers that had nearly severed them. What he found instead was a dossier, photos of their Boise cabin, Austin apartment, even the Saget's clinic, Victor's web spun long before Noah's fever broke. Betrayal's aftertaste soured breakfast the next morning. Tyler, bleary-eyed over poached eggs, caught Ryan's stare across the linen-draped table. "What is it?" he asked, fork pausing mid-air. Ryan slid the folder over, photos fanning like accusation cards. Victor entered then, impeccable in bespoke wool, feigning surprise with the skill of a man who'd closed deals on orphans' backs. "Necessary diligence," he said coolly, pouring coffee black as his soul. "You think I'd let my bloodline vanish without a trace?" Tyler's face drained of color, hazel eyes flashing to Ryan's. Pleading, then defiant. "You stalked us? For what? Leverage on a toddler." Victor's smile was a scalpel. Protection. "Eldridges don't fade. We endure." The argument detonated, china rattling, Noah mercifully napping upstairs. Ryan's voice rose first, Ohio twang cutting through the polished veneer. "Endure? You mean control. We ran because of men like you, suffocating anything that doesn't fit your straight arrow mold." Victor leaned in, unyielding. "And look where rebellion got you. Broke, begging at my door." Tyler slammed his fist down, standing between them like a shield. "Enough. We're not your pawns. That Noah's here because of us, not your serum." But the seed of doubt had rooted. Tyler's glance at Ryan held a flicker of the old fracture, the whisper that maybe, just maybe, the Empire's shadow was inescapable. They fled the mansion that afternoon, not in fury but fracture, checking into a boutique hotel in Capitol Hill, Seattle's queer heart, all rainbow flags and craft breweries. The room overlooked bustling Broadway, where drag queens hawked merch and couples like them strolled unapologetic. Noah burbled in his playpen, stacking blocks into wobbly towers, oblivious to the fault lines. "We can't stay," Ryan said, zipping a suitcase with mechanical precision. Tyler paced, phone buzzing with board alerts he'd ignored for months. "Where? Back to scraping by? Noah needs stability, not another highway." Ryan pulled him close, hands framing Tyler's face, thumbs brushing stubble, eyes locking in that electric way that had sparked it all. "Stability's not mansions and NDAs. This is building our own damn thing." Romance rekindled in the hotel's clawfoot tub that evening, steam curling like secrets as they soaked with Noah splashing between. Tyler's fingers traced Ryan's tattoos, mapping the phoenix's rebirth, while Ryan nuzzled his neck, inhaling cedar and regret. "Remember New York?" Tyler murmured, water lapping at their chests. "That first kiss tasted like freedom." Ryan's laugh was low, intimate, tasted like trouble. "The best kind." They made love slow, deliberate, bodies rediscovering trust in the dim glow of city lights filtering through fogged glass. Afterward, wrapped in robes, they plodded over room service tacos. A fresh start in Portland, Ryan expanding Phoenix Inc., Tyler launching an indie biotech consultancy focused on accessible meds. Not empires, but equity. But controversy shadowed their steps like paparazzi flashbulbs. Victor leaked the reconciliation to Variety, spinning it as a family triumph over personal challenges, code for queer scandal sanitized for shareholders. Twitter, now X, exploded. Eldridge redemption trended, with blue-check influencers debating if Tyler's return was progress or capitulation. Queer forums lit up with betrayal. He sold out for daddy's checkbook, while conservative outlets crowed victory over lifestyle recovery. Ryan scrolled in the dead of night. Noah's soft snores a bomb, Tyler stirring beside him. "They're wrong," Tyler whispered, arms snaking around Ryan's waist. "This is ours." But Ryan felt the pull, the gravitational force of Victor's world, tugging at Tyler's ambitions like a siren's call. Portland greeted them with drizzle and dive bars, a city of bridges and books where misfits thrived. They leased a craftsman bungalow in Selwood, yellow siding peeling like old paint, yard big enough for Noah's first swing set. Ryan's parlor boomed, locals queuing for ink that told tales of transition and triumph, while Tyler's consultancy took off, consulting for startups on ethical trials, his Rolodex a reluctant asset. Evenings blurred into domestic poetry. Tyler grilling salmon on the back deck, Ryan reading Goodnight Moon with exaggerated voices, Noah's giggles the soundtrack to their mended hearts. Yet doubt festered. Tyler's calls from Victor grew frequent. Just advice, babe. And Ryan caught him staring at financials, eyes distant with what-ifs. The second betrayal struck like lightning, 6 months in. Noah's checkup revealed trace markers. The serum wasn't a cure, just a pause. Ether syndrome lurked, requiring quarterly boosters only Eldridge could produce. Victor's email arrived at midnight. "Come home. Or risk it all." Tyler woke Ryan with sobs, the screen glowing accusatory. "He played us," Tyler choked. "Knew it wasn't permanent." Ryan's rage boiled over. Not at Victor, but the universe's cruelty, the way love demanded impossible choices. They drove to Seattle that dawn, Noah asleep in his car seat, the I-5 a ribbon of recrements. "We fight this," Ryan vowed, hand on Tyler's thigh. Not beg. Confrontation brewed in Victor's boardroom, a glass airy overlooking Puget Sound. Tyler stormed in, Ryan flanking, Noah on his hip like a talisman. You lied, Tyler accused, voice echoing off polished chrome. Victor, mid-conference call, muted it with a flick. Omitted. The data's proprietary, trials ongoing. Ryan stepped forward, Noah fussing against his shoulder. Proprietary? It's our son's life. Victor's eyes softened fractionally on the boy, then hardened, then join the fold. Lead the division. Secure his future. The offer hung, laced with poison, power for compliance, love leashed to legacy. Tyler wavered, the room thick with unspoken histories. His mother's suicide when he was 10, Victor's grief-fueled armor, the boarding school beatings Tyler endured in silence. Ryan saw it, the pull of purpose, the seduction of saving lives on a scale only Eldridge could. Don't, Ryan whispered, but Tyler's nod was resolute. For Noah, betrayal's knife twisted as Tyler accepted, the ink drying on contracts that bound him back. Ryan stormed out, rain lashing the limo windows, heart splintering. That night, alone in their old hotel room, Tyler begged, "It's temporary. We'll carve space for us." Ryan's tears were silent, furious. Space? Or a cage? Climax crested weeks later. At the annual Eldridge Gala, a black-tie bacchanal in a Belltown ballroom, chandeliers dripping diamonds over Seattle's elite. Ryan, arm candy in a rented tux, watched Tyler schmooze, his lover's smile a mask cracking at the edges. Victor toasted legacies, eyes on Tyler like a hawk, while whispers swirled. The prodigals tamed, brought the boyfriend, but plays the straight game. Noah, with a sitter, texted photos of finger paints, innocence amid the farce. Ryan slipped out for air, balcony overlooking the sound, when a shadow followed Victor, scotch in hand. You hate me, the old man said, not question. Ryan's laugh was hollow. Hate? Pity you. Built an empire on fear of loss, of difference. Victor's grip tightened on the rail. Fear made me strong. Saved Noah, didn't it? Ryan's retort died as Tyler burst through, face ashen. He's leaking the dossier. Our whole story to bury us. The boardroom betrayal unveiled. Victor, spooked by Tyler's growing independence, planned a smear, painting their escape as fraud, Ryan as gold digger, to justify cutting Tyler off for good. Papers rustled, lawyers loomed, but Tyler's roar shook the foundations. You destroy your own blood for control? Victor's facade crumbled, voice breaking. I lost her to this disease. Can't lose you too. The room stilled, raw humanity piercing the corporate veil. A father, not Titan, pleading. In the chaos, Ryan pulled Tyler aside, Noah's photo clutched like armor. Choose, he said, voice steady. Tyler's eyes, gold-flecked and fierce, met his, you. Always, they walked out together, hand in hand past gasping guests, the gala's flashbulbs immortalizing their stand. Victor's empire quaked, stocks dipped, headlines howled. But in the rainy aftermath, as Noah hugged their legs in the foyer, the real climax unfolded. Victor, humbled, offering partnership, not subjugation. Build it with me, he rasped. For him, the gala's fallout rippled like aftershocks through Seattle's tech corridors, Victor's board scrambling to contain the PR wildfire. Tyler's viral walkout, arm linked with Ryan's, Noah's nanny trailing with the boy in tow, ignited a media maelstrom. CNN dissected it as Queer power in Pharma's ivory tower, while Fox spun, Family Feud exposes woke weakness. Safe in their Selwood bungalow, Ryan fielded calls from journalists he'd once dodged, Noah clambering over his lap as he typed a statement. Love isn't leverage. It's legacy. Tyler, pacing the kitchen linoleum, brewed coffee strong enough to strip paint. Dad's reeling, he said, handing Ryan a mug. Texts nonstop. We need to talk. But this time, on our terms. Reconciliation brewed slow, laced with suspicion. Victor arrived unannounced one drizzly Sunday, bearing a stuffed orca for Noah and a briefcase of revised contracts. No NDAs, just equity shares in a new division, Eldridge Equity Meds, focused on affordable trials for rare diseases. He knelt awkwardly to Noah's level, the CEO's knees protesting on the worn rug. Grandpa, Noah tested, tiny hand patting Victor's cheek. The old man's throat bobbed. Yeah, kid. Grandpa, Ryan watched from the doorway, arms crossed, the phoenix on his arm a talisman against trust. Tyler bridged the gap, guiding his father to the table where blueprints for community clinics unfurled like olive branches. But emotions' undercurrents ran deep, surfacing in quiet moments. That night, after Victor left, Tyler collapsed against Ryan on the couch, Noah asleep upstairs. He looked human, Tyler admitted, head on Ryan's shoulder. Ryan's fingers carted through his hair, grounding. Humans break. That's the point. They talked till dawn. Tyler's buried grief over his mother's pills, Victor's factories of denial, Ryan's foster scars, the foster dad who'd called him fairy before the locks clicked. Romance wove through the wreckage, Tyler's lips finding Ryan's in the lamplight, slow kisses building to urgency. You're my home, Tyler gasped, hands roaming familiar paths. They moved to the bedroom, bodies a symphony of reclamation, love's rhythm drowning doubts in sweat-slicked sheets. Controversy, however, refused burial. Activist groups picketed Eldridge HQ, demanding transparency on Eldra 9, while shareholders sued over personal distractions. Tyler dove in, testifying at hearings with Ryan's script notes, eloquent pleas for inclusive research, queer voices in the lab. This isn't about us, Tyler told a packed room, Noah's photo pinned to his lapel. It's about every kid like him, no matter who their dads love. Applause thundered, but backstage, Victor pulled him aside, bold, reckless. Tyler's grin was pure rebellion. Like father, like son. Life normalized in fractals. Mornings with Noah's cartoons blaring. Ryan sketching tattoo designs over oatmeal. Afternoons at the parlor. Tyler dropping by with lunch. Stealing kisses amid the buzz of needles. They hosted a block party. Rainbow flags fluttering. Neighbors toasting their Philly cheesesteak success story. A nod to Tyler's East Coast roots. Yet betrayal's ghost lingered. Anonymous tips to tabloids. Dredging Ryan's juvie record. A shoplift at 16. Survival not sin. Fag felon flees with fortune? Screamed one rag. And Ryan's hands shook inking a client's sleeve that day. Tyler quashed it with a presser. But the wound festered, Ryan withdrawing into silence. Clash ignited over Thanksgiving, Victor insisting on hosting, a turkey thaw in neutral territory. The mansion gleamed, tables groaning under sides, but tension simmered like gravy. Noah, 2.5 now, charmed with sticky fingers, but as wine flowed, barbs flew. Victor, 3 scotches in, Toasted family resilience. His eyes on Ryan pointed. Some run from roots, he slurred. But roots run deep. Ryan's fork clattered. Roots? Yours choked your son till he gasped for air. Tyler intervened. Voice steel. Dad. Stop. But Victor pressed. Spilling the dossier's dirt. Tyler's phase in college. A beard named Emily to appease the board. Betrayal's bloom. Tyler's face crumpled. The half-truth he'd buried for Ryan's sake. Storm broke in the study. Doors slammed. Noah shielded in the kitchen. You kept that from me? Ryan hissed, hurt raw as fresh ink. Tyler's plea was desperate. It was nothing. A cover. Before you. I swear. Punches landed verbal. Accusations of secrets breeding secrets. Love's foundation cracking under weight. Victor lurked outside, eavesdropping like the spider he was, but this time, he knocked. Face ashen. Bottle abandoned. My fault, he admitted, voice gravel. Pushed him into lies to fit the mold. The admission hung, a bridge over the chasm, and Ryan saw it. The man, not monster, forged in loss. Healing threaded through the holiday wreckage. They stayed, not fled. Victor carving turkey with unpracticed hands. Stories spilling of Detroit strikes and his sister's laugh. Noah's bedtime became ritual. 3 generations in the rocker. Tales of whales and warriors. Ryan and Tyler mended in the guest room. Apologies physical. Tyler's mouth on Ryan's scars. Ryan's grip anchoring Tyler's hips. No more shadows. Ryan murmured post-climax. Breaths mingling. Light it all. Winter deepened. Noah's boosters seamless now. Victor's labs open to their input. Tyler co-led equity meds. Ryan consulting on patient stories. Tats turning to testimonials. Controversy morphed to momentum. A docuseries pitched. Outrun Empire. Their saga scripted for screens. But humanism's heart beat in the mundane. Sledding on fresh snow. Victor tumbling comically. Noah's squeals pure joy. Ryan teaching Tyler to change oil. Grease smudges like war paint. Yet climax loomed subtle. In board votes and backroom deals. Victor's health faltered. A ticker warning from years of stress, and succession whispers grew. Tyler, groomed anew, faced the throne, but with Ryan's clause. Queer-inclusive board. Or we walk. Victor conceded. Eyes proud. You've outbuilt me, son. Spring unfurled in Seattle like a hesitant flag. Cherry blossoms dusting the U-District sidewalks as Tyler's equity meds hit milestones. A Phase 2 trial greenlit. Funded by impact investors hungry for woke wins. Ryan's parlor expanded. A second chair buzzing with clients from the U. Inking pride flags and phoenixes intertwined with medical symbols. Noah, potty-trained and precocious. Finger-painted murals on the fridge. His family portrait a blob of 3 stick figures under a rainbow sun. Daddy, Papa, Gampa, he declared, and Ryan's chest ached with the rightness of it. American patchwork, stitched from scandal's cloth. But emotion's tide turned treacherous in May, when Tyler's ex-beard, Emily, surfaced at a fundraiser. She was polished now, a venture capitalist with a bob and a Botox smile, air-kissing Tyler amid champagne flutes. Ryan, nursing a seltzer in the corner, designated driver for the night, watched the easy banter, jealousy coiling like smoke. Later, in the valet line, Emily's whisper to Tyler, missed this world. You, his laugh was light, but Ryan's grip on the keys tightened. Home, with Noah tucked in, The Inquisition spilled. What was that? Rekindling old flames. Tyler's exasperation flared. She's a colleague. Ancient history. But Ryan's insecurities, Foster forged, demanded more. History that hid who you are. Am I just the rebound from repression? The fight festered through a week of clipped texts and cold shoulders. Ryan crashing at the parlor's back room, ink-stained cot his throne of solitude. Tyler showed up Friday night, rain-soaked and raw, Noah in PJs dangling from his neck. We don't do this, Tyler begged through the door. Don't let his poison win. Ryan relented, pulling them into the dim space, the air thick with turpentine and tension. Confessions poured. Tyler admitting the Emily charade's shame, how it delayed his coming out. Ryan voicing the terror of inadequacy, a blue-collar queer in a white-collar whirlwind. They kissed through tears, makeup sex on the workbench, tools scattering, bodies urgent, reclaiming territory in gasps and grips. You're my everything, Tyler vowed, forehead to Ryan's. No empires without you. Controversy reignited via Emily's Loose Lips, a podcast slip about Tyler's wild years, twisting their escape into daddy issues drama. X lit up with memes. Tyler as prodigal prince, Ryan as tattooed tempter. Victor, ever the strategist, countered with a donation to Seattle Pride $10 million, branded for families like ours. The optics worked. Protests pivoted to partnerships, but Ryan smelled the calculation. Buying absolution, he muttered over dinner, Victor across the table dissecting the move. The old man shrugged, or building bridges. Take your pick. Summer scorched in. Family road trip to Yellowstone a bomb. Geysers erupting like catharsis. Noah chasing bison shadows. Victor drove the RV, griping at maps but grinning at Noah's awe. Evenings by campfires crackled with stories. Victor's Union days, Ryan's Foster escapes, Tyler's Hampton's heartbreaks. One night, under a meteor shower, Tyler pulled Ryan aside, ring box glinting simple platinum, engraved, "Run with me. Marry me?" he asked, voice husky. Ryan's yes was a sob, their kiss sealing it amid applause from Victor and a yawning Noah. Wedding planning wove whimsy and war. They chose a backyard affair in Selwood, wildflowers and whiskey, no suits, just jeans and tees, Ryan's sleeves rolled to show ink. Victor footed the bill grudgingly, insisting on a caterer. Tyler compromised with food trucks. But betrayal's specter reared when Victor's lawyers unearthed Ryan's full juvie file. Not just theft, but an assault charge. Self-defense against a Foster bully's homophobic rage. It'll tank the narrative, Victor warned in the study. Dossiers splayed. Tyler's fury was volcanic. Narrative? This is our life. Ryan, gutted, packed a bag. Maybe he's right. Can't drag you through my mud. Climax crested at the rehearsal dinner. A hole-in-the-wall taqueria buzzing with queer kin. Ryan's old village crew. Tyler's cautious siblings. Victor arrived late. Face thunderous. Emily on his arm as +1. Whispers hissed. Tyler cornered him. What the hell? Victor's defense was ice. Optics. Shows stability. Betrayal's bomb detonated. Ryan stormed out. Tyler chasing into the alley. Rain starting to spit. He's undermining us, Ryan raged, fists clenched. Tyler's plea broke. Then let's burn it down. Quit. Run again. But Ryan saw the trap. Love weaponized against itself. Resolution flickered in the downpour. Victor emerging. Emily dismissed with a curt wave. I meddled, he admitted, soaked and small. Scared of losing control again, the vulnerability cracked Ryan open. He extended a hand. Join the family or get out. Victor took it. Grip firm. Family. Back inside. Toasts turned tender. Noah clinking sippy cups. Siblings thawing. The wedding dawned golden. Vows exchanged under an arbor of roses. Tyler's I choose you. Every scandal, Ryan's and I'll ink our forever. Victor walked Tyler down the aisle. Eyes misty. Noah scattered petals. Giggling. Honeymoon in the San Juans was idle. Cabins and kayaks. Bodies lazy in sun-dappled sheets. But return brought the real vow. Equity Med's launch gala. Tyler unveiling the division with Ryan at podium. Noah waving from Victor's lap. This is for access, Tyler declared. Not exclusion. Applause roared. Controversies quelled in progress's wake. Fall foliage painted the cascades in fire as the newlyweds settled into married rhythm. Ryan's ring catching light on tattooed fingers. Tyler's a subtle band under his cufflinks. Equity Meds hummed. Clinics popping in underserved hoods. Trials enrolling queer and low-income families first. Noah started preschool. Backpack slung comically large. Waving by from the bungalow's porch. Victor's presence softened edges. Weekly dinners at the mansion, where he'd trade boardroom barbs for bedtime books. His laugh, a rare bird emerging over Noah's antics. You're good for him, Victor told Ryan one evening, Scotch glasses clinking. Ryan's nod was cautious. We're good for each other. Emotion swelled with Noah's third birthday. Park bash with piñatas and pals. Tyler hung from a tree branch, blindfolded and swinging, while Ryan snapped photos, heart full. But joy jarred against undercurrents. A routine booster for Noah revealed anomalies, the syndrome mutating, Eldra-9's efficacy dipping to 60%. Labs scrambled. Victor's face grim in conference calls. We adapt. Tyler buried in work. Coming home hollow-eyed. Ryan shouldered home front, but resentment simmered. Love stretched thin by lab coats and late nights. Controversy brewed anew when a whistleblower leaked trial data, alleging corner-cutting for speed. Headlines screamed Eldridge's queer facade. Rushed remedies risk lives? Protests swelled outside HQ. Rainbow signs clashing with pickets. Tyler testified again. Voice steady. Transparency is our mandate. But privately, to Ryan in bed, what if it's true? Dad's shortcuts. Ryan's comfort was fierce. Arms banding tight. Then we fix it. Together. Betrayal struck intimate. A late-night email from Emily, now Victor's advisor. Forwarding memos. Tyler's promotion hinged on discreet alliances. Code for marrying straight optics. Ryan confronted Tyler at dawn. Printouts crumpled. Is this why the push? Tyler's denial was vehement. She's stirring shit, jealous of us. But doubt seeded. Ryan pulling away. Nights on the couch with Netflix white noise. Tyler's pursuit was relentless. Flowers at the parlor. Noah's drawings taped to his briefcase. Fight for us, he begged one rainy pickup. Ryan's walls cracked. I'm scared, Ty, of losing you to that world. Climax ignited at the family summit. Victor summoning them to the yacht. Puget Sound choppy. Skies bruised. Emily was there, consulting, her presence a slap. Over lobster and lies, she pitched mergers that sidelined equity. Victor nodding along. Tyler erupted. This is sabotage. Victor's cool. Business, son. Love's a luxury. Ryan. Voice thunder. Luxury? It's our life. Noah, below decks with a nanny, spared the storm, but as waves rocked, Tyler pieced it, Emily's leaks, Victor's tacit approval, to force compliance. The deck confrontation was operatic, yacht pitching, Tyler facing father. You'd tank your own work for control? Victor's mask slipped, age-etching lines. I built this to save, not destroy. But fear. It blinds. Emily slunk away, exposed. Victor confessed the memo's origin, his own, testing Tyler's loyalty. Betrayals unravel. I wanted you unbreakable, Victor rasped. Tyler's forgiveness was conditional. Then break with me. For real. Back on shore. Reforms cascaded, Emily ousted. Trials audited transparent. Ryan and Tyler retreated to the bungalow. Noah's hugs healing balm. Romance reasserted in the aftermath. A weekend getaway to the Olympics. Hiking trails hand in hand. Tense sex under stars. Noah with Victor for Gampa Camp. We're unbreakable, Tyler whispered, tracing Ryan's ring. Ryan's reply, because we bend. Humanism bloomed in winter's grip. Equity's first success. A booster variant, 95% stable, rolled out free in clinics. Victor joined a support group for lost parents, his stories mirroring Ryan's foster tales. Noah's holiday concert, tiny elf in a school play, drew tears from the titan, who clapped loudest. Controversies faded to footnotes. Their story a TED Talk, Love's Lab, building equity from empire. Yet depth lingered. One night, Tyler confessed a dream, adopting another, growing their queer family. Ryan's yes was soft, visionary. A house full of runaways. Victor, overhearing, pledged seed money, not control, but start. New Year dawned crisp. Resolutions etched in snow-dusted evergreens as the family expanded plans. A second adoption consult. Paperwork stacking like hope. Ryan's parlor hosted a charity inkathon. Proceeds to equity. Needles whirring tales of resilience. Tyler balanced boardrooms and bedtime. Victor mentoring with grudging grace. Delegate, don't dictate. Noah, fluent in mischief, demanded storytime trios, his laughter bridging old riffs. Emotion crested with the adoption match, a 4-year-old boy. Alex, bounced like Ryan once was, eyes wary but bright. Home visits blurred into bonding. Alex's first tattoo sketch, a stick figure family. Noah's jealous sharing of toys. But integration Jared. Alex's nightmares of past homes. Ryan's echoes triggering his own. Tyler held vigils. Rocking both boys. We're the safe harbor now. Controversy simmered low. A rival pharma suing over stolen IP. Dredging escape-era rumors. Victor's countersuit was surgical, but media feasted. Eldridge's gay gambit? Lawsuits or love? Tyler's op-ed in The Stranger defended. Our story's progress, not plot twist. Ryan, inked arms bared at depositions, testified raw. I ran for love. Stayed for family. Betrayal's whisper came from within. Tyler's sibling, Elena, long silent, emailing ultimatums, cut the drama or lose the trust. Her conservatism clashed with their life. A final family fracture. Tyler's call to her was tear-streaked. This is us. Join or goodbye. Elena's concession. A visit, tentative bridge. Climax brewed at the adoption finalization. Courthouse steps slick with April rain. Alex signed his name shaky. Official. Family hugs sealed it. But outside, paparazzi swarmed. Leaked by Elena? Victor's security parted seas, but a shove sent Ryan sprawling. Camera flash blinding. Tyler's roar, "Back off!" Chaos peaked when Victor decked a lensman. Silver hair wild, the CEO unmasked as Papa Bear. Headlines flipped. Eldridge patriarch punches for prodigy. Aftermath was cathartic. Elena's apology in person. Joining a dinner where stories swapped scars. Romance for Ryan and Tyler ignited postcourt. Hotel suite overlooking the Sound. Boys with Victor. Champagne toasts to us four. Love's language was urgent. Bodies celebrating expansion. Tyler's whispers. "You make me whole." Humanistic threads wove tighter. Alex's therapy sessions with Ryan co-leading. Victor funding a foster-to-adopt nonprofit. Summer camp for the boys. Canoes and constellations. Dads trailing with coolers. Controversies. Mere backdrops to their narrative. A gay American epic of chosen kin. Summer's heat wave baked Portland's bridges. But the bungalow's AC hummed steady. Alex's laughter mingling with Noah's as they built forts from couch cushions. Ryan mentored at a youth center, inking free for at-risk queer kids. Tyler keynote at Pride Fests, Equity's booth handing serums and stories. Victor, semi-retired, tinkered in a home lab, prototyping kid-friendly inhalers for ether. Emotion deepened with Alex's first, "I love you," whispered to Ryan over bedtime comics. Foster ghosts exorcised in panel hugs. Tyler teared up witnessing, pulling Ryan into the hall for a kiss that tasted of triumph. "We're nailing this dad thing." Controversy crested at a national pharma summit. Tyler's panel on inclusive innovation, derailed by hecklers. Corporate rainbow washing, tied to Victor's past price gouging scandals. Fists clenched, but Ryan, in the audience, stood, "We've lived the cost. Now we fix it." The mic pass turned Q&A to dialogue, heckles to handshakes. Betrayal surfaced subtle, a bored mole siphoning equity funds, traced to Victor's old guard. Confrontation in the study. The traitor, a family friend, confessed pressure from legacy purists. Victor's firing was swift, but the hit stung, $2 million diverted. Tyler's rage cooled to resolve, audit everything. Rebuild cleaner. Climax unfolded at the boys' joint birthday. Double digits skipped. Cake smashed in glee. Midway, Victor collapsed mid-toast, heart seizing like his warnings foretold. Ambulance wails pierced the party. Ryan driving, Tyler clutching Victor's hand. "Hang on, Dad." Our lights blurred. Monitors beeping Noah's old dirge. The irony twisted. Empire's king felled, not by rivals, but frailty. Vigil in the waiting room. Boys coloring quietly. Elena flying in. Family forged in fear. Victor stabilized. Stent placed. But the scare stripped veneers. Bedside. He gripped Tyler's hand. "Should have run with you." Tyler's forgiveness flowed. "You caught up," Ryan added. "We're the run now together." Recovery reshaped all. Victor moving to a condo near Selwood. Daily walks with the grandkids. His stories laced with vulnerability. Romance for the dads bloomed in stolen moments. Picnics where Tyler fed Ryan strawberries. Ice promising eternity. Humanism's core. A foundation gala raising millions for rare disease equity. Victor emceeing frail but fierce. Crediting My Son's Rebellion. Autumn's harvest moon hung low as Victor's rehab waned. The family tighter than ever. Weekly potlucks at the bungalow. Elena's pies thawing old ice. Ryan's parlor hit 5 years. Walls papered in client thank yous. Tyler's equity went global. Clinics in Detroit's hoods echoing Victor's roots. The boys thrived. Noah's soccer goals. Alex's art awards, both waving pride flags at school plays. Emotion peaked with anniversary vows renewed. Backyard redux. Boys as ring bearers. Victor officiating with shaky gravitas. Love endures. Post-ceremony. Under string lights. Ryan and Tyler danced slow. Whispers of future adoptions. Perhaps a girl next. Controversy. A footnote in Memoirs, Tyler's book deal. Runaway heir. Topping charts. Sparking campus talks on queer corporate power. Victor's cameo interviews. Pride's in the fight, not the fall. No grand betrayal lingered. Small ones mended daily. Tyler's workaholic slips. Ryan's ink-fueled escapes. Aired in therapy circles Victor joined. Climax? Life's quiet peaks. Victor's remission check. Boys' first sleepover. A cruise where generations swapped seasick jokes. Ending humanistic, not saccharine, love as ongoing labor, romantic in rut and rapture. One dawn, Ryan woke to Tyler's note. Ran with you. Still running. Phoenix risen. Family unbroken. Their American gay saga. Dramatic, disputed, deeply, defiantly human.